got like 2.5 to 3 hours, but I've got 4 cameras that I want to get down and take a look at. They're actually pretty far in. Problem is the river's frozen over, so I can't take the boat, can't take the kayak. I'm gonna take the long way in. It is cold. Everything should be frozen over. I should be able to access it pretty easily. It's been a long time since I've walked in from this way though. There's a nice historical. Might have been nicked a couple times actually from this season. Plan is to get these cameras and do a little scouting when I'm back here. I've always thought to myself over the years of listening to like Dan and everybody about these overlooked spots next to the road. While I'm listening to it, I always think of this spot. I was in here a handful of times when I first got into hunting and scouting. I'm probably like 100 yards, 150 yards from the road. Trails are beaten down, but I haven't seen anything other than that historical. Look at these trails. One here, one there. That's where I just came from. There's one that shoots right up this hill here too. Yeah, I forgot my sticks. I have a plan though. I improvised. Hopefully this works. It should work. In my mind, when I think about it, it should work no problem. There's another historical right on that tree right there. You can just see the side of it. That trail I was on swoops you out to the edge of this big swamp. You can tell it's almost like an island out there. So I'm gonna work my way this way and cut through that because I know I actually have to get on that side. I'm pretty sure anyway. Now that I think about it, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna keep going on this trail because this will be a straight shot to my cameras. And then when I work my way back, I'll stay on the outside over here and I'll work my way through that. I walked right by this. I don't know how. Yowzers. Let's go. It's right at my hip. This one's even higher. The meat of this one is over my hip. It's nicking clear back here. Look at all that. And this goes this way, down this trail. It has to go out into the swamp. Has to. Those are the rubs right there. Just came down this trail. There's a small faint one that goes into here. You can see the one here clearly going out to the swamp. Almost went down that one, but just in case, I tucked into here. I thought what looked like a bed right there. And just as I stepped through, I seen that. Let's go check that out. Look at this trail. Stays in the thick, cuts through right here, and it just follows the edge of the swamp where they can either turn off. This is the rubs that I've seen. These are high. This is belly button. Look at that, they're nicking way back there. There's a good one running through here. Let's keep following this. This is actually heading back towards the way I came in. Oh, look at that historic. There's another rub up here. It's lower to the ground. Look at that. All right. I'm sure all this sign is right here just because it follows the edge of this swamp. All right, so I did end up just working around and coming out to what looked like this little island peninsula. All the sign just stopped completely. I'm sure this has got a good amount of water during the season. I'm standing on like a little pond right now. But I can't imagine that would keep them out of here. Hopefully it's just that I'm getting close to bedding and they don't want to lay down sign in their bedding area. The trails are here, so they're working through this for sure. I'm on one right now. All right, That's the island I just came off of. It's not even an island, it's more of a peninsula. A 0 sign. I just walked across here, picked back up. I'm probably less than 100 yards from that really big rub that we found. Kicked back up onto what I presumed is the trail that this comes from. Or that, yeah. And I looked over here, bam! Right back on them. So, oh, look at those. Look at that. And then this is right next to it. Here we go. So the last rubs were on that tree. This is the trail that I'm coming down. It leads right to the big ones that I found, but I turned around just to make sure I wasn't missing anything, and bam. This one's made earlier in the season. There's a historic right here. Heading back to the swamp. Historic here. And this is meeting up with this main trail right here that I just came off of. Another historic right there. Keep walking in. This got hit either last year or early this year. And this just leads me right to where I walked up to. And there's a historic, I missed that. I walked right by this. So the big guys are using this too. Okay. So this goes to that water crossing. There's a trail here that goes to that those rubs. This is the water crossing trail. And then this is that main trail that I was following. Everything crosses right here. I marked my location at that water crossing for a camera to catch anything coming off of the water. But I feel like I'm just gonna be better off throwing a camera up somewhere right in this intersection and get majority of the deer coming through here. Something might come off of that crossing and just work that way and out. But you would think over time I'd get something here. Whatever is walking out there will eventually cross through here. The spot that I'm in right now it's like a natural pinch that you can see pretty easily on the map. So I'm super surprised I'm not seeing any hunter sign in here. But at the same time, there's snow on the ground, so I'm not seeing any tracks, or I can't see any tracks. But the sign that I'm seeing is pretty good. Pretty good. It's a sign that looks like they're here pretty much throughout the season, up until after the rut. I'm sure this is gonna give this spot away. Every time I see that thing, I always think to myself, or really any old, super old tree stand, I always think to myself, it's there for a reason, and they left it there for a reason. So there must be something good coming through here, or this area should at least hold something decent, you know? I don't know. I try not to give advice. I've only been hunting for like 6-7 years, I think. I don't know. I just hunt and let you guys watch. I don't know what that was. Oh, it's a turkey. It's right next to me, dude. Oh, it's pheasants. What are you doing, bud? Bird hunting can't be that hard, right? Just walk up on them. All right, all right. Hopefully nobody checked it. Hopefully nobody got to it. I haven't had any cameras or cards taken this year, so. This is what I was watching. There's a main trail that goes to a water crossing over here. And then there's another trail that cuts through right here. So it was just watching this intersection. Now, let's see if I can get to it, since I didn't bring my stick. It's gonna work. All right. I had a pair of rat straps in the truck, and I thought to myself, I can definitely just strap that to the tree and step right on that buckle. Let's do it. So I'm probably like 150 yards from my last camera. Walk down this trail, hit this opening, and I was just like, oh, that snapped off. That snapped off. That snapped off. This has got to be a good spot. There's an old rub there. And I'm just in here milling around looking like, yeah, man, I'd throw a camera here. I'd throw a camera here. I did throw a camera here. I finally found tracks. Human tracks. Boot tracks. I wonder if somebody was hunting back here or just scouting. It's still season, but let's see where they go. Just walked onto this island. It's surrounded by water whole way around, and then it pinches down where you can get off and back onto like the mainland. As soon as I crossed onto here, I found this nice historic rub. I'm just gonna work the edge all the way around and kind of keep on peeping in to see if I can see any good sign, but I want to follow this edge. There's a couple historic rubs. There's a trail here. There's a rub right here. Oh, there's a good one right in front of me. It's pretty low. Probably about a 2-year-old. It's right at my knees. If they're gonna bet on this island, it's gonna be on the edge of this thick, maybe in a little bit, and then within all these blowdowns. When I was standing there, I was looking out here and I was just like, man, that looks like boot tracks. It is. And he's heading out, so he's going this way. And he hooked back around. Okay, and that's where I met up with his tracks back there. All right. So I was on the other side of all this blowdown. Didn't really find much sign. Little pockets in there that could be bed. It's hard to tell with a little bit of snow on the ground that we have. But I worked through this thicket. I came out here. I seen this limb snapped off, but it doesn't look like it's from a deer. And then I looked past it. There's a rub right here. It's a pretty decent one. The meat of that's probably right above my knee. Oh, there's a real good historic right here. Okay. And it looks like it just shoots right down this line. Just came walking through this way. I'll turn around because I've seen these little tine marks on this. Clipped it up pretty good. It's about right at my thigh. There's this one. There's a historical on that side, another historical on that side. All the buck sign just follows this edge. It just walks this edge in a circle. And what I'm guessing they're doing is with most of the doe bedding on the interior of this, it's just the bucks walking the downwind edge. Whenever they get a wind that's blowing this way, they'll just walk around this and scent check this whole thing and lay down sign as they're going through, which is good to know, because if there is something that's running through this area and it wants to check the bedding in here, and I know he's working this area, it's a spot that I could potentially wait for him to cruise through. I'm not necessarily picking this apart to where I'm finding my tree and stuff right now, but I'm just sticking my nose in here just to see if I... Ooh. There she is. Just watching this whole edge over here. Nice historic there. And just from experience, I had them running through here. I didn't sit here this year, but I had a pretty decent one cut right by me the year that I did sit in here. So I just set this guy up just to watch this whole edge. Hopefully catch anything that's trying to work itself out of this bedding back here. Well, it's either the first camera that got messed with, or I just spaced it and never turned it on. if somebody did come in here and turn the camera off, they left my card. Well, that's probably very unlikely. But if somebody did mess with that camera, I had one that was like, it's right here. I had one that was like 70 yards from it. Ooh. Maybe we get lucky and the day that camera got turned off, I got some goofy on here. All right, this is what my camera was looking at. It's a historic rub there. Historic rub right here. This looks like it's from this season. Hopefully I got him coming through. When I had my encounter with that buck, he came from over here and cut right through here, right through this timber, and I was sitting over here. All right, well, all of my cameras and cards in this section are accounted for. With a possible mistake, but well, hello. Look at this. I'm on my way to go grab one of my buddy's cameras right now. See it, and this is right behind it. This is 15 yards behind my buddy's camera. Jesus. Working my way back towards the truck now. Typically the way I like to scout is I'll do a big U around the property, or at least the section of the property that I want to get scouted, and then I'll try to stay to the edges or to the main trails. But on the way in, I was far that way and scouted my way around, grabbed my cameras, and now I'm coming along the river edge here. Really wasn't finding much. I walked through a bedding area, crossed the water, that's their escape route, got onto this side. I walked all through here and didn't see much, but I cut this trail that was pretty defined. Seen a pretty huge historic rub. It's actually on that tree right there. I came out into this little natural opening and I look through there and I can see a rub. Now this looks like a bed. Tucked in here into this little pocket. There's a bunch of snow on the ground, so I can't really dig through it, but there's a rub here. He snapped that off over there. He snapped that off over here. That's the main part of that rub. The main part of that is over my knee. Look at this. Historic. Here's one. This is over my hip. That's a good one. Looks like a nice bedding area. It's thick in here. They can see out, not much can see in. Oh, this looks rubbed. Yeah, a little bit. That's about at my thigh. And they're just cutting this trail here. Okay. Working my way out, pretty much back to the point where I started finding those really big rubs in the beginning. I picked back up on a trail. That guy's been rubbed up a good amount. And the next one up, that's been hit. This trail leads right to where I had my camera at. Nice.